he's the ultimate test for me really being willing to do the work, and I'm not for him. Yeah. And so that's what we talked about, is like, you know what, the healing that's here for us and available for us is huge. And because we have kids and businesses and we do all that, so we co-parent so well together, we business so well together, like nailing it. Yep. But in the intimacy department, in terms of like really feeling held by each other, that's where we were lacking. And it's like to be able to do that with somebody I can do so many other things with, that to me feels like my life's work. I'm like, oh, I'm here for that. That's exciting for me. And that's gotten me through the harder times of having to like be with the pain and the grief of really having to like look at my past version of my marriage and say, okay, that needs to die for something else to be born. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, and that's so big, and it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of bravery. And I feel like, well, I kind of wanted to, because I was thinking about this when I was thinking about you guys. And I mean, we've been in that similar phase this past year as well. And I think that, you know, for us being in the personal growth space industry, of people thinking, well, if it's not in ease and flow, right, let it go. If we cannot manifest the right partner, the right relationship, that maybe we just aren't in alignment anymore.
Ooh, that is a tricky thing right there.
So what do you say to that? Yeah. Because I mean, I have my own thoughts on it, but I want to hear your perspective, because this is that life's work. You've just shared it. Yeah. But then what about all the folks who are saying all of that?
Yeah, I mean, to each their own. Say what you want, but how's that working out for you? Right? like, let's keep it real. Because even when you manifest your dream partner, you're both human. And very sad wake-up call. If this is the first time you're hearing it, I'm so sorry, but you're human, and human beings do human things, and messiness happens. Life happens. Babies happen. Growth happens, identity crisis happens, all of that happens. If you are doing life long term with anybody, whether it's your best friend, your children, your parents, or your partner. And so we have to come to terms with, as a society, that we are so addicted to chasing good and perfect and flow and ease and grace, that we have lost our edge to be able to actually weather a storm and become battle tested. Like, that's what P and I talk about. We're fucking battle tested right now. We know that we can be put up against anything right now and weather it, because we're in it. We're still in it, you know? And for us, for me, that feels so good to know that I can navigate hard things and do it with an open heart and love and compassion, and still honor the pain that I'm in. Like, that's what being human's about. Yeah. You know?
And I think to, you know, deny that part of ourselves, whether because we're ashamed at it, we've just not been given the tools, or we think that, well, but all of the books say it has to be in flow and in ease. Right. And you're like, well, yes, but when you get into a relationship with other people long enough.
That's right.
And I think most people, you know, haven't really been in it long enough to experience the full spectrum and the fullness of life, that we just quit on it so easily. I'm going to sound like my elders here.
But real talk, right? And I think it's like, there's that whole trend right now called quiet quitting.
Yes.
Right? Where I'm like, of course it's happening right now, because nobody has like grit, right? Which you teach so much on grit. It's like the wherewithal to know that you can dig your heels in for something you care about and something that matters to you. And you're like, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to work for this. I'm going to dig into all the parts of myself that are resisting this, that are resisting truth and love and openness. And I'm going to go to work. People are like, I don't want that. Can I just do a ceremony and like,
can I just do like one, can I just do like one thing and not all of the things? It's not in alignment for me to do all of it.
And it's fine. Again, to each their own. But what I speaking from experience, I chased that for a long time. I chased like, oh, it's got to be in flow. It's got to feel good. It's got to whatever. And then I got real, and I recognized that I was trying to keep things in flow and feeling good and homeostasis. And that's what led to part of our breakdown.
The breakdown.
Is because there was this level of like, well, things have to be good. Things have to be steady.
Or even an expectation of like, all right, it's got to be up here because we're up here.
Right. And then there's like this lie that we buy into for ourselves of everything's good, everything's great. Yep, we're working on it. But it's not until we have that big, massive blow up or breakdown when your real marriage can begin. And it's so true. It's like, okay, now I'm meeting the actual messy human being. You're meeting me. And do we choose each other?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Big choice, because in the honeymoon phase, it's easy to choose somebody.
And some people are going to be in the honeymoon phase for a really long time until they have kids, or, you know, until that kid turns 1 or 2 or 3.
Right.
And we laugh because we, you know, multiples.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love that, like, some people get into, you know, then they get into their season of life where they're like, okay, this is the mom phase, and I'm going to just focus everything on the moms and the babies and all. And but it's like, it's all of the feels.
It's all of it.
See you next time at the Brave Table.